Simple interest is money that is paid on a loan. Simple interest is calculated by taking the amount of the loan, we call that principal, multiplying it by the rate and the time, the years the loan is outstanding. You've seen this equation, interest equals PRT, principal, rate, and time. Jody claims, in part A, Jody claims that her brother has to pay a total of $5,508. Do you agree? Explain. It says, as an example, a $1,200 loan has an 8% annual interest. The simple interest for that year would be 96. They're taking the percent and changing it to a decimal and multiplying it by the principal, which was what the loan started as. Then you would have to multiply it by the number of years. And if it says 2 years, you would multiply that number by 2. So we're going to do the same thing for Jody's brother. Jody's brother has a principal loan amount, the starting loan amount of $4,500. And it says that his interest is 5.6%. But to convert it to a rate, they've given it to you, which is 0.056. They just changed it to a decimal. And it says he is going to have the loan for 4 years. So he has to pay back the loan plus the interest for 4 years. So the T, the time, is equal to 4. In your calculator, type this in and figure out what the interest is. And this comes out to $1,008 worth of interest. So we still need to figure out, does she have the correct total? His loan started at $4,500 and he has to pay for the interest. Is that going to come out to a total of $5,508? Tell me what that is and then explain. Do you agree or disagree and why? Is she right? Is she wrong? B. Write an equation for the total cost to pay a loan if P is the rate of interest. No, repay a loan of P dollars, so that's the principal. R is the rate of interest, and T is the time. It says write an equation for the total cost. This is just the interest. How could I figure out what the total cost is? I would need to take the total, which is the interest, plus what we start with, which was what we did here. And that was called the principal. So plus another principal. The amount you start with plus the interest gives you the total. In C, it says, if P and R are known, is the equation a linear equation? Well, we have the total, which is a variable. P times R would just come out to a number if we know it. And then P is another number. So this would be the slope. And this piece would be a y-intercept. So is it linear? Yes or no? And then this can be your explanation. We've got a slope and a y-intercept. Okay, in part D, it says, in the context of the problem, interpret the slope of the equation in words. So we have total, and then we want the rate times the principal times the time. So we have 4,500 times 0.056, and then we're going to leave t for time. And then we added the principal at the end again. You can see that step down here. where we added those two pieces together, the interest and the principal. So on your calculator, figure out what this piece is. So we now have T, the total, is equal to 252 times the time. I know there's two T's. This capital T represents total. The lowercase t represents the time in years. Plus the 4,500. Our goal is to interpret the slope. What does this 252 even mean? The slope is the interest earned in 1 year. So after 1 year of having the loan, he's going to have to pay an extra $252. Now for part E. Part E says interpret the y-intercept. The y-intercept is that piece that we add on to the end. Where did it come from? What does it mean? The $4,500 is the amount of the original loan. It's how much he took out for his student loans. Does it make sense? Meaning after keeping the loan for 0 years, is he still going to have to pay $4,500? Yes. Even if he keeps the loan for 0 years, he still has to pay back or repay $4,500 that he borrowed.